a 5 and a 3-year-old son, Hudson and Asher. And they were starting to show some interest in music. And so we thought to ourselves, where should we send them? To music school. I know, let's send them to Mike Risco Music School. They've only won 13 trillion Best of Westchester Awards. 13 trillion in a row. That, and it also gave me a reason to return to my hometown of Ossining, New York. And I remember walking in there with my sons and seeing Miriam for the first time in a long time. Miriam was a few years older than I was in Ossining, and I just wanted to be exactly like her when I grew up, and I still do. In any case, getting back to how awesome Mike Risco Music School is, my sons Hudson and Asher played their first song on the piano this year, and if it wasn't for this school, that wouldn't have happened. So here I am with my iPhone, like they're calling me in, like they're playing. So I'm recording, and I sent it to everybody, the whole family, including my brother, Dominic. In 2009, we lost my grandfather, William Taliaferri, and he was more than a grandpa. He was like a father to us, and it was like the air had been sucked out of our family a little bit because he was so brilliant. Even at 94, he was brilliant. When he was younger, before World War II, he had his own 18-piece band, Bill Taggy and the New York Deviliers, and he was amazing. He was. Anyone that, or whatever, he was just amazing. And even as he got older, he played the saxophone, the clarinet, and it kind of faded off, but that music would always be blasting in the house, always. And you'd find, like, you'd pass by the house in the 80s, and there'd be like boom-da-boom-da-boom in one house with teenagers, and then the next house, it would be blasting big band music. And you'd find my grandparents married for 65 years, almost made it to 65. Yes, made it to 65 years, almost to 66 years. And they'd be dancing in the house, dancing around. I'd find them. And so, I guess all of us deal with grief in different ways. I kind of close up. I don't want to talk about it. I don't post on Facebook. I just kind of deal with it. My brother did something with that grief, and he decided to start a scholarship dedicated or awarded to someone that exemplified all of the things that my grandfather was about, all of that passion, all of that excitement, all of that love for music and the arts. And it was successful. He started in 2011 and worked with the school system here in Ossining to find a deserving student, someone that exemplified those values, to be awarded that scholarship. So when I shared this video, going back to my story, with Dominic, he and I started talking about Miriam and Mike and what they're doing and the amazing kids that are there and the amazing results that I'm seeing with my little ones. And he was saying, you know what, I'm going to reach out to Mike and Miriam because I bet they would know and they would be able to identify that very deserving student or that very student that would exemplify who my grandfather was. And in this way, my grandfather lives on. He lives on in the music. He lives on in that passion and that excitement for the arts and expressing yourself in other ways and musically. I'm really, really proud of my brother for so many reasons. But I am especially thankful and proud of him for putting together this scholarship. I love you, Dom. And without further ado, my brother, Dominic Pace.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Ossining. Thank you all for coming tonight. There's a connection to the small business and the artist. More often than not, each week you just never know what's going to come as an actor or as a small business owner. When we were growing up here during the 80s and 90s, The parents, teachers, and coaches were such an inspiration to us. But the backbone and the heart and soul of this community, more or less, was small business. Many of them gave us our first jobs, Linehan's or Conti's Deli, Parisi's. And a lot of them, again, there's each week, sometimes you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and you have to create one. Since 1997, Mike and Miriam Risco have been part of that light, part of that strong tradition from our beautiful community. Not only being two incredibly talented performers themselves, but at the same time continuing to inspire our youth throughout our town. As Dina said, my grandfather, his first dream was to become an entertainer. But like so many of our grandparents, so many of our parents, our country, and our family called first. There was one thing that he did during Thanksgiving, and he would ask us all what we were thankful for. And it's hard, you know, when you grow up in Generation X, and you kind of put things into perspective, how hard our grandparents and our parents worked. It makes you really appreciate life more. And that's the one thing that I think is consistent with this entire town. It's not just my grandfather, but it's the town of Ossining in and of itself, and that it's more or less a working class, those who have stayed humble, those who work hard, and those who appreciate everything. And this year, we couldn't be more privileged and more honored to present this grant to Mike and Miriam Risco. So if you'll please come up, thank you for being here.
We always talk about this because Miriam never wants to talk, but she's so good at it, actually. This is really an honor. We really appreciate everything that was said. I think that for both of us, you know, part of the reason this is our thing that we do has been successful just because we love what we're doing and we love to share, and it's just sort of has always come natural to us. And I'm glad that the things that you said about your grandfather, you know, I think music is a great vehicle to sort of carry through the generations. You said you're Generation X. What would I be? what is it?
Pre-baby boomer, post-baby boomer.
Yes. But anyway, we're really honored to receive this, and we're going to put it to good use and talk about what we're doing.
Well, we actually we gave it to a girl named Shania to take viola lessons with us, and she's been doing that. She actually was going to be here tonight, but she's on a trip to Ecuador, coming back on Sunday. So I know she really, really appreciates this. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
It's a great honor.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Well, there's a time to celebrate, of course, but always within community. There's also time to remember. Again, growing up in this community, we had so many dear friends, and I just wanted to take a few moments to remember two of them in particular. One was Doreen Boynton Hutchinson. I'm so honored. Kendra Negron from Dragonfly Wellness, she not only sponsored the event, but she also was a dear friend to Doreen. And Kendra's here tonight to just say a few words about our dear friend Doreen Boynton Hutchinson, and forever one of Ossining's daughters. So, Kendra.
Growing up in Ossining, I think, you know, one of the things that's been such a beautiful thing about this community is, you know, not just the small businesses, it's not just, you know, the arts, but it's just about the relationships that were cultivated and the privilege that we all had of growing up, at least for me, and, you know, people here that, you know, are within my age range that I know, kind of prior to the whole like technology boom, where we actually had to get to know each other purposefully because we wanted to. You know, if we were looking for somebody, they weren't a text away, we would have to actually leave the house and go look for them. Maybe go to Roosevelt Square or get on our bike or whatever. Doreen was more than a friend to those that loved her and to those that she loved. She was a sister. She was a confidant. Her Her father was a police officer for many, many years in Ossining, and her family is and has always been embroidered into the thread that, you know, makes Ossining what it is. You know, losing her was profoundly difficult, but having been gifted the opportunity to be with her to the very, very, very last moments, just in a very beautiful way reminded me how lucky that we all are to be from a community that embraces and appreciates and cultivates and feeds relationship and kindness and compassion. Doreen was nothing if she wasn't passionate. Whether she lived in Ossining or whether she did not, she remained ingrained in the Ossining community and was always very invested in the community as a whole. From, you know, things like trying to, you know, donate money to the band because, yeah, she was part of the band growing up, or being really vocal about Ossining Indians forever. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, she will always be a part of this community. She will always be a part of my heart and soul. And Dominic, I absolutely appreciate you taking some time to honor somebody who loved and cared for this community so deeply, and somebody whom I loved and cared for so much. So thank you.
Another story about Doreen. My wife could tell you I'm pretty much a hypochondriac. About 12 years ago, I got a kidney stone, and I'm sitting there crying on the phone to her, you know, reading my last rites. Doreen was receiving treatment about 1.5 years ago when I held this event for the first time at the library. And she still, when I told her friends, we weren't even that close, and she still came here to come out and support me and support the community, and that was the heart that Doreen had. And again, it's so symbolic of our community in so many different ways, and I think our hearts, her spirit lives on in so many of us because of that. So thank you so much, Kendra, for being here. I really appreciate it. When you grew up in the 80s and 90s, I might be a little jaded, but Ferris Place was probably the place to be after school. If you can imagine about 30 kids growing up at the same time. There was a grandmother, her name was Loretta Mariano, and she was the grandmother to Jeremy, and she lived on the block. She was probably one of Ossining Indians' biggest football fans and wrestling fans. And Jeremy lived just a couple blocks away. He was one of us. He was like a brother. He had charm, charisma, athleticism, second to none. He got involved with a little bit of addiction over the years. We lost touch. I received a phone call about 1 year ago from an Ossining High School graduate. I'm so honored to have here tonight, Walter Santos. And he said that Jeremy was put up outside of Temecula. It was a rehab clinic, and he wanted me to come and see him. So I came out, and we talked for a little bit. And if he was here today or if he was here tomorrow, I don't think I would change my words. Addiction is a very difficult thing. Sometimes with the male mind, we try to be Mr. Fix-It, and I remember being frustrated that day and weeks to follow, wanting to just figure out what Jeremy's issue was so that he could still be here with us today. I'm so honored to have Walter Santos here from New Jersey, an Ossining High School graduate, to come and talk a little bit about Jeremy.
That bottom picture right there is at our program in San Diego called Calvary Ranch. It's been there about 50 years, and it's for anybody that's tore up from the floor up with drugs. And the sad part is it's ripping our communities apart. Jeremy didn't have to die. The heroin took him out. I know because I was a heroin addict right here in Ossining. The Ossining Police Department has my fingerprints on their sheet. They tried to help me numerous times. A lot of people tried to help me. I was a musician in this town. I worked with Sonny Chirac and so many famous musicians that came out of here. I remember singing to Peter Falk, Ossining's son that was Columbo. when he called Ossining High School one day, wanted to hear the high school anthem, and I sang to him. But, you know, my life, I grew up on Spring Street. I was adopted. I had a Spanish name. I'm German. I was all mixed up. I had a lot of black friends. I looked like the cream in the coffee in my neighborhood. But, you know, inside there was a war going on. And I know there was a war going on inside Jeremy. He had everything to live for. But it's not that easy, folks. You can make somebody come to the rehab. You can show them all the tools. But eventually it has to happen right here. It's an inside job, like a microwave oven. One day I got to the point where I was arrested in Ossining. I was facing 25 years to life under Nelson Rockefeller. And the judge in White Plains in the Supreme Court gave me 5 years probation. He looked at my rap sheet, he said, "You're a knucklehead. You got all this talent and you're destroying yourself. I'm gonna give you one more chance, 5 years probation." I left Westchester County, I went down to Miami. My dad had a motel down there, and I got back on drugs. And I got hired to play on a recording session for a famous doo-wop singer named Dion. And Dion told me how he got set free. And that changed my life forever. And many years later, I went back. I touched it again, and I wound up back on drugs. And that's when I wound up at this little place in San Diego that saved my life. Today, I'm a certified drug and alcohol counselor. I'm on the board at that ranch. And I'll be here for a few minutes afterwards. If you got anybody in your family that needs help, I'll give you my number. You put it in their hand, you tell them to call me. And don't wait, because the end result is, it's happening every day in every community. Heroin is tearing our cities apart and families apart. I love Dominic. That's when I met him, right there. When I met him, I saw his heart. He wears his heart on his chest. He's got a heart of gold. And I know God's going to do a lot of good things with Dominic. This is the case in point tonight here. But don't give up and don't give in to fear and discouragement. There's hope. Even in Jeremy's case where it ended badly, all you do is go back. When you go back, that's it. The minute you touch it, it's death. But there is hope too, and I'm living proof that it works. And it continues. Today I'm 67 years old. I'm so old. I can't believe Ossining. It's got so much going on. I mean, all the streets. I used to drive for Camp's Taxi. Nobody even remembers that. You remember? I probably drove the taxi, man, when I was stoned and you were sitting in it. Thank God I didn't kill you. But I really, let's have a nice hand for Dom. All the way from California. Just remember, there is hope. So if I can help anybody, I'll give you my number, and I'd love to help. Thanks.
And just our condolences to the Mariano family and Marcy and Jerry, who live down in Virginia now. Our thoughts and prayers, and again, Jeremy and Doreen will forever be with us. Tonight's film, it deals with addiction. It deals with the coming of age. Sometimes kids, they have to grow up too soon due to our parents or friends being involved with drugs. Kristen Hester shot this in our own backyard in Ossining. She's an incredible director. This is her first of 2 films that she has done in Ossining. On behalf of Kristen, I'm so proud to announce that she can't be here tonight. She's in Montana filming a feature film. She's directing a feature with Jessica Tandy's granddaughter. So we really wish her all the best. And I'm really happy to present this on behalf of her. Due to the tone of tonight and due to the loss of our friends, I didn't want to show anything. And in the years moving forward, I just wanted to say you guys have been there for me for 25 years. And I just want to say thank you. And at the same time, I want to use this event to continue to pay it forward to other artists. The light that you have given me, I've been able to achieve my dream in so many ways as a working actor. And I've been so grateful for each and every one of you. Each year, I appreciate the suggestions. I appreciate those reaching out from the community to let me know so that we can pass that light in honor of my grandfather, in honor of so many of us part of this community and small business to support other artists. I want to thank the people who supported this evening. Christina Picciano, thank you so much, from all my friends and playing some beautiful music. Julie Johnson, the Peaceful Mind and Body. If you'll please hold on to your programs, some amazing little benefits there, and each and every business owner within who has sponsored the event would love you to see them. Kendra DeGrand, who's here tonight from Dragonfly Wellness, one free yoga class, and then also for those who are free this evening, I would love to invite you down to Scott Ryan's place, 6 Degrees of Separation. Again, Ossining is about community. When you live in Los Angeles, you live in New York City or Chicago, you begin to appreciate your roots more and more. And the one thing that I love about this town is the diversity, consistently being kept grounded by so many of the faculty, the parents, and the teachers. And the fact that there was no us versus them. There was no woman, there was no man, there was no minority, there was no Italian. We were all one. There was an old poster that was, it was a kindergarten poster. It said everything I learned in kindergarten. And it's so true with the Ossining community because it's all about functioning as one. And hopefully we can continue to be beacons of light for the world in regards to that. So tonight, we pass the spotlight to Kristen Hester, and we wish her all the best with her career. It's just an 8-minute short, but it packs quite a punch. And please join us afterwards. Dina Pace, also celebrating 20 years along with Mike and Miriam Risco of her own successful business. She's got a little bit of appetizers and wine outside for us. And thank you all so much for coming. So please enjoy Kristen Hester's Shift. Thank you.
Try it again, like this. Slowly.
Jeannie, not today. Jeannie, not today. I'm with my daughter.
Can I just set it straight?
I can't.
Come on, man. Make a quick stop, all right? I'm about to get you a treat. Anything you want.
You promise?
Did I do to deserve this beautiful creature? Just for a moment.
Congratulations to Kristen. We wish her all the best. I didn't want to wait an extra year. I received an email from a local Ossining resident and a small business owner, Kemi Pogue, about 6 months ago, and I told her financially we were tapped out, but I wanted to recognize she has been part of a charity to help children regarding health and fitness, keeping them off the streets, especially with drugs. And Kemi's here tonight. to talk a little bit about how we can help her out in regards to her cause. Kemi, if you please come up.
Thank you guys. I'm going to try not to cry. I'm a little choked up because of that video. I am a small business owner. I personalize children's books. It's been 20 years this year. And one of the books that I have, I started a Home Run Against Drugs program. And part of the program is a 30-minute assembly program in the schools that teaches the kids the effects of alcohol, tobacco, and drugs, and the benefit of eating healthy, exercising, and setting goals. And the reason why I started my business is because my sister, she had a learning disability, and I had to help her read. So I knew through personalization, it would encourage the children to read. The reason why I incorporated the Home Run Against Drugs program is because my father was a recovering addict. I grew up in the rooms. I remember one day, I was waiting up for him to finish a coloring comic book because he loved the art. He loved to draw. He used to draw so much, and he taught me how to paint and everything. And I was waiting for him to come home, and he came in stumbling. And I remember hiding under the covers. I was downstairs in the living room, and my mom calls from upstairs and says, "Rab," they call my dad Rab. She says, "Rab, are you high?" And I was 10 years old, and I didn't know what high was, okay? But nowadays, 10-year-old children know what high is, what type of drugs or what, and this and that, because they learn so much through media and the internet and everything. So my father, he did eventually get clean. He did go in and out of recovery, but my niece had passed away in a fire in '91. Alicia, God bless her soul, he became clean, and he was clean for 15 years before he died of stomach cancer. But that's the reason why I started the Home Run Against Drugs program. It is dear to my heart. I'm excited about soon to be implementing the program in the Ossining School District, and to also have events in the community that teaches the children the effects of alcohol and tobacco and drugs, because it is an epidemic. And the youth nowadays are learning about this at a much younger age, so we definitely have to educate them at a younger age. So if you want to learn more about the program, you can visit www.homerunagainstdrugs.org. Thank you.
Kemi, just on behalf of my family and also Paramount Pictures, we just wanted to give you a little gift basket to get your silent auction started. You can follow Kemi Pogue, KEMIPOGUE, to find out more information. Thank you so much to Kendra DeGron. She's also donating a few free complimentary yoga classes. And please let us know when your silent auction begins. We're happy to help you out. Thank you so much. God bless you. Again, thank you all so much. Let's continue to support our community. They've done so much for us in so many ways, and I plan to devote the rest of my career to this town any which way that I can. Kristen and I also wanted to offer a free mentorship program. When I first started, I used to have a Metro North Pass, a Variety, and also a Backstage, and I had no idea what I was doing in terms of the acting world. So Kristen, whether you're an aspiring director or a screenwriter, whether you're an aspiring actor, please feel free to email me anytime with any questions. There's a ton of scams out there, and just also in terms of survival. The 99% of us, it's not always going to be this A-list Hollywood celebrity status where you're making millions a day, but also a practical approach, the Ossining way to become a working actor and to work as an actor. Always happy to offer all that information complimentary. Thank you so much to Mike and Miriam. I look forward to a very long relationship with you both in terms of inspiring our youth. Thank you all so much for coming out. To Dina Pace again. There's complimentary appetizers outside, and then please, I would love you all to join me in a beer. New local business, let's make it our spot. 6 Degrees of Separation. We'll be down there later tonight. God bless you all, and thank you so much for supporting the arts, and also my family and I tonight. Thank you.